Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're on now. We're on now. Hello, hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday the 13th.
Yeah, and
Do you
thank
see a
you.
theme forming here? We were the 13th Friday, the first one.
Oh, we were, weren't we?
Yeah, and now no, we did something. I guess we did Sovereignty of Souls maybe on the Friday.
Yeah, on the
And now
13th.
we're doing the Monday, but I just thought, oh,
That is pretty
13.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite numbers, you know?
mine too. I have
Yeah.
no problem with it.
I was born on the 13th, though. It's a good number
Oh,
for me.
then yeah, see? Yeah. Which is why Taylor Swift always loves the number because she's born on the 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're cool that way.
Yes,
Yeah, so anyway, I want to welcome everybody. I don't see
yes.
anyone in the chat yet, but I'm going to say
Oh,
welcome
well, that's all
everyone.
right.
Yeah,
We'll
and
speak to the first.
welcome to those who catch it on the replay. We're up against some heavy hitters this hour because our
Oh.
Allie at Heart and Soul Connected is,
Oh,
yeah, she'd come on at the same time. So,
well, heck.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. Like I
And
said, you can catch us in the replay. That's
I
cool.
love Allie and her guests that
Oh, I
she
do too.
has so often.
She
That
had such a variety.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's awesome the way she does that she kind of showcases
Yes,
folks
she
at
did.
different levels of where they're at in developing their channel. Or
Yeah,
this last one, she had one of her members. I guess I don't know if she's actually a member or just subscribed to her, but she's someone from that community that she invited to come on and speak
oh, yeah,
with
I
her.
seen that.
And
Yeah.
I thought, well, how very cool for her to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. Well, she found me in her chat or in
Ah,
her subscriber list, and she
isn't
reached
that
out to
fun?
me. Yeah. So, but she
Well,
was
and
there as
I,
busy then either.
yeah, I appreciate that about her
Yeah.
because it's, as you know, we've all come in under different years and times and disciplines and whatever.
Mhm.
And it's just human nature. You gravitate to some rather than others.
Yeah.
And I know there are several that are doing collaborations that, they've got a nice flow. And
Yeah.
that can get really interrupted if you start inviting
Hmm.
others to come in. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
love our little collaborations.
I do too. I really do. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm still when I get more of my supplies and equipment together, then um, I'm gonna set up some kind of monthly meeting to where we can work on our chakras and our breathing and
Yeah,
energy work. You know,
it's a
we
great
just
idea.
show up and do it my way because I've been poking around and stuff. And on the chakras, the thing that I have um, everywhere, when they do the root chakra, see, the
Hmm.
root chakra is the first chakra. You're
Hmm.
supposed to start there, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody starts up here. And then when they get down here, it's like, okay, that portal, and that's what the chakras are. They're portals.
They sure are.
And but the root chakra is located between the pee and the pooper in
Hmm.
the middle.
Right.
You know? It shoots down just like our crown shoots up.
It's up. Yep.
So
Those are the anchor points. Yep.
yeah, yeah, and these throughout our trunk, we got the feelings in the front and the will in the back.
Right. Right.
I can't do my
The
my
back is always a fun one.
heart, but I spend twice as much time on the heart because I only can do it through the front.
Right.
So, but I do 5 minutes, and I figured that'd be a good thing to do
Yeah.
with a group is just spend 5 minutes on that, and then um, do some controlled breathing
Hmm.
and some energy work, with the hands, so people get a
Oh, sure.
feeling.
Get a feel to where they can build
Well,
it,
they
build
feel
it,
their
build it.
etheric,
Hmm.
the etheric energy field, the one that's closest to our body. It's right
Right.
up.
Right.
Yeah. And you can feel it.
Oh, you can.
So,
And the more you work with it, it can be just
mhm.
It's like when I'm doing healing work on my dog. I mean, he's
Mhm.
ancient, right? Poor
Yeah.
thing. Um, and he gets, his organs are starting to get problematic on the sides. And sometimes I think it's over here in the pancreas or over, I'm not sure exactly if it's in his gallbladder or a little lower, but
Uh,
he'll get tight and sore. And
uh-huh.
so I just do energy work on him, and I began to like swirl my hands as I'm
Mhm.
pulling, drawing, and then
Yeah,
I start
drawing it out.
swirling
Mhm.
and draw until it just feels like pudding.
Yeah.
And then I extract it out, throw it,
Yeah.
throw it a second time, and then I go back in and I check him. And when I'm all done, then I, open up to the light and I put my hand down to infuse him in light. And he reacts. He knows what I'm doing now. The
Yeah.
first time I did that draw on his left side, um, he about popped right off the bed, and I'm like,
Wow.
"Oh, you poor thing." I must have really got because I had a big bunch of it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the next morning, my husband says, "Mr. Side feels great today." I said, "I know, I worked on it. I've been working on it the last few
Good.
nights." And he
Good.
goes and then he commented the other day, "That he's still nice and soft on that side, that
Oh,
whatever was balling up on him isn't doing it." I said,
good.
"Well, thank goodness. At
Yeah.
least he knows now what I'm doing, and, he doesn't think I'm picking on him."
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
He's very
Yeah.
sensitive about his personhood.
Mhm. Yeah, of course.
So have we got eyeballs in yet that we might
No. Oh,
go
we
ahead?
have one. We have
Oh,
one, yeah. So that's cool. Hello, welcome.
hi,
Mm.
hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're gonna kind of work our way into the discussion today as we get people come online.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I did want to share now this is in the chapter on hopefulness.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That is in, and I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see it. Well, the person can see it and you.
Well,
Okay, but
that's
for
me.
whoever comes in later,
Yeah.
it is a
Oh, okay.
course in mastery, a
Oh.
path to awakening. And
Uh-huh.
this is, I've told you about Al Miner and his Lama Singh group.
Yeah.
He has now passed from this world.
Yeah.
Uh, Al Miner has, but the Lama Singh group came to him after a near-death experience in the 70s,
Oh.
and
Oh.
he awoke, plugged into this collective of souls, beings,
Uh-huh.
um, who were downloading information to him, and then his work began from there. So,
Wow.
and the interesting thing with the Lama Singh group is
Mhm.
that it was always a like a revolving door group. As others
Oh,
would get called to different assignments, new
yeah.
ones would come in and work with him for a while, and
Mhm.
then he would get the sense that, okay, another one's getting pulled for something else.
Yeah.
But they formulated this beautiful course. It's
Wow.
12 chapters. You do it for a year. Each chapter was 1 month of dedication. But
Uh-huh.
in the foundational trilogy, I just want to read this real quick.
Yet.
Um, In a manner, then, dear friends, dear colleagues, you have now a trilogy, the trilogy of the foundation of where you are. Forgiveness is the releasing, gratitude is the claiming, hopefulness is the energizing, the empowerment
Mm.
of the foundation for who and what you are.
Yeah.
You could see these with some parallels to the first three chakras. That's why I wanted to bring this up,
Mhm.
or energy centers, and even to the first three glandular centers, which you talked about our
Mhm.
last time. Um, but in parentheses, that is a diverse topic which has no true appeal to many of you. So we give it here only as reference in paren. Think of this as the first three of 7 steps.
Yeah.
Think of this then as it goes beyond that definition into the perfect set of 3, 3, or 9. And you have a glimpse into the intent of this collective work. This will complete the first segment. The second now becomes more apparent, as does the third, we should think. So go forward in this and in the anticipation of that which lies beyond,
Mm-hmm.
in your cloak of hopefulness. Let the others see the lavender essence of your beauty and rejoice in it. Who knows, Zachary states. Zachary is he's a cut up, that one, but
Oh, yeah.
he is part of the group. You might even get a bit of a jolt out of some lavender essence. Hard to say, he says. It says, but in all of this, you are the key. Your choices, your dedication and willingness to support these principles and the others that are on the periphery of same as you. Each of you individually shall discover them in unique ways. You are the key. However, because you have come forward and through your own free will of choice, the most powerful of God's gifts to you, asked, and we become as one. We are in a partnership in the glory of God. So now it is we. As you embrace us, we embrace you and others and others. The majesty of the oneness is inestimable in its potential, awesome to contemplate. And then it wraps with this on this page. This is the foundation. This is that which upon we shall build all else. Do put it securely into place, and thou shalt be our concluding prayer for you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that something? And
Yeah.
that is the communication in which they always gave things. Now
Mm-hmm.
later, or I should say earlier, it is earlier in the work as this was coming online with Edgar Casey.
Oh,
Edgar Casey was a Baptist Sunday school teacher. I mean,
mm-hmm.
he grew up with the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so his messaging is very much in the old Bible language, using thee, thy, thou
Yeah.
kind of language.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see that when I open up some of those later as we discuss.
All right.
But what did you think of that?
I love that.
That little intro. Yeah.
I love that. And the thing with accepting and forgiving and hope, those three, they have always been staples for me. It's like
Yes.
I don't connect with how you survive this world without hope, without forgiving yourself, and without accepting yourself and others. And
Yeah.
forgiving yourself and others too. I mean, the three of them are like the Trinity
They are.
for survival here.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I've always felt the same way. It
Mhm.
it sets that internal compass or intention for
Mhm.
how you're going to approach the day. And
Yep.
it does. It harkens you depending what's happening through the day.
Yeah.
You pull up that thought and it quickly allows you to then ground, operate.
Yeah. Yeah. Ground. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Do you see the chat?
Oh, yes, I see.
Carl.
Oh, Carl.
And
Hi,
he says,
Carl.
yeah.
It's just us
And he
again.
says, and that leads to
Right.
abundance as well.
Oh, yes.
Yes. What you're
Absolutely.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And until, I used to be one of those that, oh, I'm going to be humble. I'm going to be modest. I'm not going to seek wealth, and I almost kind of had a barrier to it, like it was an insult.
Uh-huh.
And then, finally I grew up enough to go, that's what greases the wheels in some cases. It's a necessary evil. It's all in how we deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
is. And how we use it.
yes, and if we are about abundance, we share that abundance as well.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
to me,
exactly.
yeah, that's the whole point to me of being given abundance, is that you've
And
proven you're a
gifts.
good steward and you can pass it on to others who could benefit. Thank
Exactly.
God we got rid of that
Very good.
mindset, right? Right. Exactly, girl.
mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. I always fell for the starving artist or the
Oh yeah.
musician, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, please. There's something very blessed in being able to meet your monthly obligations and have a little few shekels left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I'd have been better prepared. It's because at least in my household, and I think in a lot of them, they don't prepare the teenagers for standing on their own. I
No.
mean, and I tried to bring this subject up to my mom when I was 14. I thought 4 years, that's not very long, right? So I asked her about, well, what's it like, how much is the like rent and all that, costs and stuff. Oh my God.
How
It was like
dare
the
you?
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, she told me it was none of my GD business.
Business.
I mean, she
That's
got her
right.
hackles up. This woman was a saint.
Think about
Rarely.
it though. How long were we brought up with the idea money is a personal thing? You do not talk about money. You do not talk about what goes on in this family,
Yeah.
and everything right down the line. And what really shocked me is going into the workplace. I mean,
Hmm.
yes, I know how to keep confidences of others. I'll take it to my grave. Me, I'm an open book. There's
Yeah.
very little that I won't discuss because I'd rather be embarrassed for a minute than
Yeah.
find out if I hadn't disclosed it, somebody would have been better off down the road.
Yeah.
Should I have said something? So, yeah, I'll just put it out there. And so talking about wages or whatever, and people go, oh, well, that's not polite to talk about. And I was sitting in a meeting with folks one day and I said, why it's not polite to talk about? They don't want us knowing what each other's being paid,
Yeah.
how little we're being paid.
Hmm.
And, as long as it's the big mystique and, oh, that's not talked about, you can walk around thinking
Well,
everybody's
that's,
advantaged above you. And,
I mean, really, and they actually think that somebody can pay rent on a minimum wage? No, no, they know you can't. But
no,
hey, you're going to have to survive that way anyway, or couch surf, or whatever. It's just,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
Well, I mean, we're all long enough in the tooth. We remember the days before all of the fees and the this and that and the accidentals and the incidentals. I
mhm,
mean, I remember 1976. I finally got my first apartment on my own. I had a roommate, but this was my first. It was a junior one bedroom, which meant it was like a studio, but it
hey,
did have
cool.
a door that had a
Uh-huh.
bedroom and the bathroom attached to that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was so proud. This was $195 a month
Oh, wow.
in Sunnyvale, California, right
Oh,
there in
my
the heart
God.
of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, 195. And I made, I think, 630 a month after taxes and everything. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. And then the manager said, if you pay on the first, you can take $5 off the rent. So, oh my gosh,
Oh,
$5 was
yeah,
a big deal.
yeah,
I made sure I paid on time or early every month to get that
yeah,
$5.
yeah.
And then my phone was a flat $25 if I didn't do any long distance. And luckily
Mhm.
I didn't. So I could gauge if I needed to. But,
Uh-huh.
like I could manage that play. I think my
Yeah.
utilities and everything were right around $35, $40. You know? I mean, I could
We're
manage with
showing
that.
our age.
And then I moved to
Very
Utah.
cool.
Big mistake for 9 months. I came
Oh,
back and I
yeah.
went into the manager's office. I said, "Is there a chance that you've got a junior one bedroom open?" He goes, "Oh, Betty, I would love to rent to you. You're a great renter." He said, "But I hate to tell you, those apartments have gone up to $285." I said,
What?
"In 9 months? You're kidding me." He goes, "No, you wouldn't be able to afford it. I hate to say." He says, "'Cause I'd love to have you in here." And I
Wow.
liked that place too because
Yeah,
he was the type, he knew where all of us single ladies were in the
yeah.
complex. And he would walk the complex at night just checking on our apartments, making sure we were okay, that there was nothing going on that needed police or concern. It was a
Yeah.
quiet community, and it looked like an old Spanish
Oh,
style, white
yeah.
with black wrought iron. Looked like it came right out of New Orleans. It was a great,
That's
great little town.
wonderful.
But I was shocked.
Yeah.
200,
I know.
almost $100 jump in 9
Yeah.
months time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it just got chaos from there.
Well, Citizens United, that's their response. The corporations, it's gluttonous.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And so,
And,
yeah.
most of us that could see that handwriting on the wall, we just kept being told how foolish we were.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not the way the world works, Betty.
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
way it works. Well,
Yeah.
it
Well,
sure seems to have panned out.
yeah, one of my new words that I'm going to use a lot for 2025 is disappointment. You know?
Good job.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what breaking trail. Breaking trail came to mind. The spirit put that in my head, and when I was about what we were going to change our perception with our thoughts and our words,
Right.
and spirit put into my head. When I lived in Alaska, I'd be out on the highway at 5 a.m. in the wintertime with 2 feet of snow, fresh snow on the highway, breaking trail to get into town, driving an hour to get to work for the day, And that's what came in mind is, and this is like breaking trail. If we're going to help one another, we have got to turn the tide of our mindset.
Yes.
We are not victims here. We have got all the power.
Yes. And, it was Edgar Casey that always said, mind is the builder, the physical is the energy, and spirit is the end result that brings it to fruition, right?
Yeah.
So, but mind is the builder. It starts there. And yes, if we're not holding the thoughts that as we want to project ourselves into the world, if we are not holding at that, then, we can get derailed very easy. And so, yes, talking about neutral language that is not incendiary. So, like you say, I was always saying, "Oh, I just don't understand." And one of my friends corrected me one day and she said, "Oh, no, no, no." And she starts picking all this stuff out of my energy field. I said, "What do you do?" And she goes, "You just told the universe every time you say, 'I don't understand,' what you're saying is, 'I will stand under whatever the condition is until I learn the lesson.'"
Oh,
and I'm like, "Oh, crap. I don't want to do that." So that's when I began saying, I am baffled. People baffle me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
gobsmacked.
Or
gobsmacked.
Or, yep. Or like I say, what a bunch of cod swallop instead of BS. There's ways you got to get creative, but there are ways to reframe and neutralize our language. And I think going forward, especially in this year, depending how things happen in the next 10 days or so, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
We've got to be very good stewards of neutrality and positive language put in such a way that we don't offend, but hopefully enlighten and enliven their thinking to take them to, like dropping little thought bombs. You kind of drop it and then you wait for it to go, and then suddenly a week or two you get a call.
And when
that thing you were talking about. Can you elaborate on that?
And when we all start doing this, we all pick it up and kind of just put it out there, in our own reality world that we live in, and then with everyone we talk to, it helps keep us grounded.
Yes.
And it helps keep our frequency above the fray.
Right.
So we're not getting hit so hard.
Right.
And another thing I like about the team,
see myself dancing above all of that chaotic energy. I keep trying to dance above it, and some days are better than others, but we're all a work in process, right?
Yep. And another thing I used, I got so upset yesterday, with the technical stuff, and I just felt my energy going like this. I go, oh no! I grabbed my tuning forks, right? I took the crown chakra, smacked it, and did the wand, haloed my head a few times, and that
Oh,
helped
girl.
lift it. It lifted it. It lifted it. It worked
Yes.
beautifully.
Yes.
So, warrior girl, hey,
Yeah.
sweetie. Oh, she's in the house. How you doing, girl?
Yeah, I think when we get ready to talk about frequency and all that, I think we're going to drag out our tuning forks. I've got
You've got a set too?
yes, I
Oh,
actually and I've got the medical ones that are geared to certain hertz, like
uh-huh.
140 and
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
And yeah, there's a gal that has been working with them for decades. She's
Mhm.
developed a lot of these.
Yeah, I've got a book. Hopefully it'll be here today about
Mhm.
tuning the body with
Yes,
the forks. And
right.
I ordered a special medical 128 hertz, because
Mhm.
that's the overall healing one. And I ordered the little angel ones to clear
Uh-huh.
the energy. And
And do you
so,
have the one that resonates at the shamanic resonance? That's a good one too.
well, yeah, I think that
What
is
is
it.
that, 240 or something? Something like that.
I'm
What's the
still
shamanic?
learning. And well,
I gotta look it
the
up.
128 hertz is the C note, and that's supposed to be the root chakra, which will heal anything.
Yeah. Shamanic resonance.
You got it?
Well, I'm spelling phonetically as I do because that's how I first learned, you know, a apple, a apple. But English does not spell phonetically.
No,
So
it's
that's screwed me up my whole life. Okay, so the Schumann resonance. What hurts? That's what I need to put. What
yeah,
hurts?
it hurts. I've got
I'm
the,
gonna say
see, I think it's the C note.
no, this can't be right. This must be at something. It says its primary frequency is 7.83 hertz. So what is two? I've got to get back in my books.
Yeah, see, and I know, because I picked up like the crown. Some places say it's 963 hertz, and
Mhm.
and another place will say it's 172.06 hertz.
Yeah,
You know?
it depends what scale they're
Yeah,
basing.
and then I've got the notes on them. I
Yeah.
picked that up, so, but they say the C note
Now is
is
that middle C on the scale? So if you're sitting to the piano, middle C is
oh,
directly the center of the
I'm not a
keyboard?
piano player, but yeah, or is it? Well, it's over to the left, I think.
I took
But
enough years of piano to figure out I didn't like it. I
yeah,
wanted a
the
guitar.
crown comes in at the B note,
Yeah.
third eye is at the A note, the throat is at the G note, the
Mhm.
heart is at the F note, the solar plexus is at the E note, sacral is at the D note, and then the root is at the C note. So, and
Interesting.
C note is supposed to be the universal healing, anywhere in the body type
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah, I was so thankful I
Oh,
had.
Earth
Oh,
Spirit. Hi, Earth Spirit. Sorry,
hello,
we're
Amy. How you doing?
we're catching up with
Yeah.
oh, how about the D sharp?
Oh,
Better to be sharp than flat, Carl. Better to be sharp than flat.
yeah. And does it make that big a difference whether it's D or flat with the tuning forks?
Oh no. Just when you're keying, your sharp is a half note
Yeah,
up and the flat is a half note
yeah,
down. So
yeah,
just as you're playing on the
yeah.
piano.
Change it a little bit. Yeah. So,
Soul star chakra
yeah.
of the crown.
And Carl was
Sacred
asking a
chakra.
question.
Yeah.
So,
Our souls are infinite. Yes, ma'am.
yes, they are.
Earth Day celebrations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to remind us we're still kicking around this rock.
That's right. Well, this isn't
My
Earth Day
meditation
now,
is
is
full
it? No?
to transmute the negative into D sharp.
Oh, she's
Well, now, Carl, that's fascinating. I've got to
wait,
write that down because now I got to dig on that. That is something I've not
okay,
heard.
wait a minute. Where's he at here? How
Okay,
about the
so
beach?
he's at
He's
the 1229
oh,
timestamp.
okay.
Okay.
Supposed to be in my meditation, I'm told to transmute the negative energy into D sharp. Well, that is fascinating. I
Isn't
never
that?
heard of that before.
I think that's just so cool.
Yeah,
Because, yes, it's all about transmuting, and I think all of us
it
do
is.
things like this a little bit differently.
Yeah,
That's why I'm very reluctant to tell people process for
yeah,
anything. My husband used to drive him nuts because this is a data man. You know, the
yeah,
Aquarian, he's got to know he's got to have a spreadsheet. He's
yeah.
got to
But
know,
we're fluid, and
yeah,
we all are different.
different. And that's what
With
I told
what
him.
how
I
we
can tell you
approach.
my process, but you got to go internally and figure out what yours is
Yeah,
because mine is mine. It may
uh-huh.
not at all work for you.
Yeah,
So that's why I
yeah,
give
that's,
signposts, but I don't give detail, usually instruction, because A, B, and C will not always equal D
yeah,
or D
yeah,
sharp to others, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He
oh,
said,
yes, I'm going to research, Carl, you bet.
yeah,
And I will follow up on that.
yeah,
Yes, I will.
exactly. Yeah.
Deep transmute negative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll do uh, a program where we can go through the chakras and do some breath
Yeah.
and work.
And it's just like when I was, crystal bowls that's quite a
Crystal
investment.
bowls? Yeah.
Right. And so I looked at, the 7 bowls in the set, and I'm like, and I was with my cousin. This is one of my visits to her place. And she was really wanting the throat chakra one is the one that kept calling her. And she's like, oh, they're so expensive. So when my husband came with us, I told him, I want to get a crystal bowl, but I want to get one for Cuz, right, for her birthday and just because
Oh,
we love her.
uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So we gifted her bowl, but as we were waiting for him to get the crown for me, he says, well, the interesting things about the crystal bowls is that if you strike the 7th bowl, for the highest realm, it
Uh-huh.
will align everything under it. And I thought, well, then why am I
Okay.
going to waste my money on 6 other bowls that really I don't need?
Yeah.
And so
But
that's why, and my cousin went ahead and got a second one about 6, 8 months later to
does
add
the
to hers.
same thing apply to tuning forks, doing the
I,
chakra? Will that
I think
line them all?
anything does. It's like stones, okay? This is a double terminated twin.
Uh-huh.
And it's a Isis, and it's a mixed. It's an Isis, and I think this is a record keeper.
Uh-huh.
So you'll even get that kind of mixture. But yes, they will, selenite, like I was showing my
Yeah.
selenite wand. This
Mhm.
puppy never needs to be charged, and it immediately grounds and charges everything. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
wonderful.
you definitely want to have some selenite.
Yeah.
And then, my little golden healer that I was playing with when we were talking the other night. And then when I was with my girls on Saturday talking with them,
Yeah.
um,
It's just the
I started
golden.
that's the golden healer. And I started using it as I was explaining to them that I was playing with it and changing the lighting and
Yeah, the
infusing
lighting was changing.
the
I mean, we're talking on the other side of the world here.
yes. And
You
so
know?
I started doing it to each of them.
Yeah.
And my one friend said, oh my God, not only do I see that, I can totally feel that. And I said, that is the beautiful work of a golden healer.
Yeah. I've
Is
got to get
that
one of them.
and
Yeah.
and I mean, this is just a little beeper, but I
Mhm.
always say don't let the
Where did
size
you
of the
find yours at? Where did you get
online.
it? You did.
I did. There's a gal who I won't mention out of the UK.
Uh-huh.
that I was watching at the time, and she was talking about golden healers. I have since decided we part philosophies, and so I don't watch her anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I say, that is a golden healer, palm
Yeah.
stone. That is a crystal golden healer with
Yeah.
druzy crystals amplifying it from underneath,
Yeah. Well, because I want a crystal to work with my
and that's a golden healer.
so a crystal, a golden crystal would be really good in amplifying the frequency, the vibration of the tuning forks. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What's we got here?
Warrior Girl, what's she up to? Please look at my comment at 3:26.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be doing something, and I wonder,
Yeah.
is she
Well,
going
I
to talk
thought I
about
told you.
hertz and frequencies? Let's see what she's talking about, because we may need to pull her in on that collaboration.
Well, it's,
It sounds like she has a lot of good.
oh yeah, Warrior Girl is a wealth of information.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well,
Didn't you mention
okay,
it's actually
this is
13 chakras?
126. It's my Earth Day celebration, second day. I survived another turn around the sun. All right.
Okay, so she says, I've heard that from you, but correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you mention it's actually 13 chakras? We have
Well,
chakras. We have
we
tons.
have many chakras. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the 7 that are.
They even move this way. Yeah. These are the very base 7 in the physical form. But then they go,
Yeah.
I think I want to say 10 sits right about here in our energetic field. It's a ways out there. And remember, there is a frequency for each chakra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can elevate and attune yourself based on frequencies as you're working to develop your openings of your higher chakras. But then we also have, just like we have in the energy field, we have like a ripple effect, closer to the body, further out, further out, further. So a good healer can see what's coming in and starting to ping on the periphery of your energy field, and say, point you to that awareness if you're not catching it, and say, you may want to work on that before it infiltrates in deeper, and then it becomes a health issue if it gets into the body.
Now, I have asked Annette's husband, Patrick, to make me a special pendulum made out of driftwood for chakras. Now, the thing about the chakra pendulum, most chakras are heavy at the top, thin at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
A chakra pendulum is heavy at the bottom and thinner at the top. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think it's because the whirling of the energy, the portal, So
yeah, I think I may have one. Let me pull this.
You mean a chakra pendulum?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Hold still, baby. And look what's in the center of it.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Heavy at the top, thinner to the bottom. And the body itself.
That works. Yeah, that works real good. Yeah.
Yeah. I got this up at Ocean Shores, Washington, when I was up there for a nephew. My nephew and his lady finally got married. Mm-hmm. So we were up there for the wedding, and he told us, he says, go to such and such rock shop and show him some love. I said, no problem. I'll have it. So I got some stone beads from them, and a little pricier than what I normally like to spend, but
Carl made a pendulum.
I've made pendulums, yeah.
Yeah, Carl has too. Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking for my driftwood one to use because I found they're really the indigenous people just adore driftwood because it's so ancient and old, and it's just been
And
through
it's been worked. Yes.
everything, energetically. And so yeah,
In
so I
fact,
decided
as you
that's
were
what I wanted.
talking about that, now I have to go on the hunt for it. Except if I find it, I'll end up mailing it to you. I've got a piece of driftwood. It's like
Oh,
this.
uh-huh.
It's working on a hole at the base to go through, but it never got all the way through, so it's got a spot there.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, that piece came into my head as you were saying, heavier at the bottom and on top,
Yeah.
and that's what you're looking for. And it's like, doggone it, I think I've got it. And if I do, I'm going to mail it to you because
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
that's
Thanks.
how things roll. I am an acquisitioner.
Yeah.
I am an acquisitioner, and I don't know why I will buy certain things, and I'm like,
I
I
do
don't
that
need this,
too.
and I can sit on it for
Yeah.
I ran across a deal for really nice covered journal books,
Uh-huh.
and so I bought like 3 or 4 of them because they were on a closeout table. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, within a year, all 4 of them had been gifted to other people. That
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
very impressed to tell
Yeah.
them, "You need to have a dream journal, or you need to have a this or that journal and buy your bed," and
Uh-huh.
I'd give them a journal to get them
Good.
started. So, yeah, I'm just an acquisitioner. "Oh, is a hanging screw attached to a broken?"
You're funny. It works.
It
Anything will
works.
work. You just need a
Anything
little
that
place and a
dangles,
string. Yeah.
that you can talk to, and it consistently gives you the same no, the same yes, the same no, I'm not gonna
Yep.
answer, or maybe, I'm ready
Oh,
for another question as soon as you've got that dialed in.
Jesus.
Yes.
Only
Uh,
last October he learned he could use a
ah,
pendulum. I was on my transmutation of energy meditation. All right.
very
That's
nice.
wonderful.
And then have you ever seen hello, hang on. Have you ever seen these little pendulum boards?
No, no, not the boards. No. Those are cute.
Aren't they cute?
They
I
are
ran
cute.
into them at, once again, my cousin and I hanging out at one of our favorite rock shops up there in northern Utah where she lives. We walked in there and I said, "Oh my goodness." And she says, "What?" And I said, "One for you, one for me." And I ran them over to the counter. And she's like, "What are you up to, cousin?" And I showed her. And see, they've got the dark side too for
Oh,
the
yeah.
if you want to use,
Uh-huh.
just whatever kind of questioning some
Those are
people.
so cool.
Aren't they
Very
sweet?
neat. Yeah.
And I thought, if somebody's just starting out, what a great way to
Oh,
get
yeah.
consistently working with their pendulum
Oh,
and
yeah.
getting comfortable with it.
Me, all I have is paper printed out with half moon thing,
And then I've got my little bowl that, it's got lavender and crystals in it, and this is what I used to put all of my, pendulums in until I
Oh,
till I
until
got
you got them hung up on
it
the.
the hangers, yeah.
Yeah, I love those hangers. Love
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
yeah, and
So,
those chips, those crystal chips, will come in handy when we start making oils.
yes, and I've got a bunch of little tiny stones because I have, the boards like, Nancy
Uh,
Jean's garden.
oh
She
yeah.
she works with the boards a lot, and
Uh-huh.
I became so fascinated, and I thought, "Well, I don't want
Did you
great
make
big."
yourself?
No, I found them online, I think at Etsy, and they were smaller boards, they're about this big.
Oh, okay,
And so
okay.
I thought, "Okay, then you need to get smaller stones," which is when
Yeah.
I started going like this little azurite crystal, you know?
Oh
I s
yeah.
That's a good one. But yeah, I've collected a lot of smaller stones, so yes, when you're down here and we're making oils, I'm gonna bring it
Yeah,
all out. Yeah.
it's gonna be so cool.
In fact, I've got a jug of, unscented almond oil
Ooh.
coming,
Oh.
and then I've got a
Oh,
little
nice.
bottle of the scented for
Oh,
other things.
Erin's here now. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin. Hi, everyone. Okay. So,
And I'm still scraping.
I suppose we ought to get
Oh,
back
that's
to our
beautiful.
topic at hand, huh?
Yeah, Warrior Girl says I have a pendulum set so that yes is back and forth for yes, side to side for no, just like we nod and shake our head, maybe for clockwise, and rephrase the question for counterclockwise. That's a good system. That's a really good system, Willie girl. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's so many ways, and that's the beauty of the
Mhm.
discovery, is finding out what's my way, what works best for me,
Yeah.
and and then
That's well,
collaborating with others and getting different ideas to bring in.
yeah, exactly. So,
This is something I wrote, and I didn't date it, but
okay.
this came to me while I was coming out of meditation. No one can tell another how to move through their inner landscape and connection to their guides and the eternal realms. One can share their process and how that works for them, but it is not the roadmap. We must find our own process. We were talking about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
To say otherwise is not being a truth teller. And that's per Libby and her guides. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Truth telling.
Yeah.
I like that phrase. I adopted that little
Yeah.
feather
I
from
like
their
that.
cap. But and I like the analogy of an empty quiver.
Oh,
If you know about archery, you have your
yeah.
quiver is what holds all your arrows, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I know this analogy was used a lot when I was going through my clinicals for
Uh-huh.
physical therapist assistant.
Uh-huh.
And because I had worked a number of years as a certified technician, I had a lot of practical background in
Yeah.
PT by the time I finally got into my program.
Mhm.
And this is something that my CIs would always put in my evaluations, that I had an amazing quiver full of therapies that I could draw from. And they found that so amazing for somebody, who,
For a lay person?
yeah. And I wasn't. I mean, I've been working in the field, but
Yeah.
just
But
like just like my professor that was the director of the program told me, there's going to come a time in this process where you're going to find out that your background is going to be working against you rather than for you.
oh, wow.
And I said, well, why? And he said, because in this setting, like any other educational setting, and this has always been my argument with education, is that we tell you things, you regurgitate it back to us, we know you understand. And I'm like, no, all that tells you is that someone's a good test taker and they can repeat verbiage. It doesn't say that they know it and understand
Yeah.
it, can apply
Yeah.
it. I said,
Uh-huh.
I've worked with way too many therapists that are functionally illiterate when it comes to the body. They know chapter and verse and they can tell you all the theory behind it, but
Yeah,
they
they're
can't put their hands on someone and say, oh, it's this. And I'll tell you, I used to go the rounds with some of the therapists that would, I told you to work this area. And I said, that's not the problem. Well, I'm the therapist. I said, well, in this case, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Because that is not the problem. That is the referral from the problem. The problem is here. And I would go work my way. And I had one patient, beautiful Hispanic woman, barely spoke English, but first time he kept telling me work her shoulder, and it was in her hands. She had very arthritic hands and it was
Yeah.
radiating up her arms. So
Uh-huh.
I kept trying to work her shoulder, and pretty soon I'd be going down. Finally, I just got to her hands and I was working her hands, and she starts going, oh, Angelico, Angelico. And I'm like, what? She says, yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's the,
Yeah,
yes,
you're hitting it.
Angelico. And boy, after that, she didn't want to work with the therapist.
Oh, no.
Her daughter came in translating, said, nope, she wants to work with the angel lady, the healer. And he's like, well, I'm your physical therapist. And it's like, get over yourself. Yeah. So, but that was always my challenge with book learning, was that, it doesn't necessarily, if you can't apply what you're learning, you're a waste in the field of whatever field you're going into.
Yeah.
So
we're about 50 minutes in here.
Oh my gosh, and we haven't even got okay.
I know. We're gonna have to take some questions.
So the last bit, yes, and I will say this, house in order.
Yeah.
House in order. And I put it in quotes because that was the end of this transmission, was on every front will be the theme for 2025.
Get your house.
Wrongs made to come to light and set on a course to make things right. Saving our reputation gains nothing if our honor and integrity is the price paid.
Yeah.
That was the final bit on that I wanted to
That's
share.
beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Well, Carl had put a message or a question in earlier.
Yeah.
And if anyone else has got a question, please let us know.
Yeah,
Carl
yeah.
was asking about Inauguration Day.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean,
I won't be there. I won't be watching, I can tell you that.
but I thought, well, I can pull and see if I get kind of a yes or a no on that.
Yeah.
You know, see what
In
cards
fact,
I get. I'll just pull 3 cards on it.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and pull out of my
Yeah, you can do oracles, whatever you want, you know.
well, these are my angel answer cards, and
All right.
some of them are definitely yes, no, and that's
All
it.
right.
So,
All right.
so you go ahead, and then I'll pull a couple, and we'll see how they shake out.
How about a collective? Yeah, we'll do a collective before
You
we
bet.
leave too.
I love
And then Carl's asking also, may I hear from my guides for this week? We'll be able to finally close a deal. Oh, looking to close a deal. Okay.
Wow.
I never.
Brave to do it in this environment, right?
Okay, do a quick one on Inauguration Day, and then we'll do this one. Inauguration Day. Is it going to happen?
That's my question.
Yeah.
Will it happen as expected?
On the 20th, because that's when it's supposed to happen. So that's the day we want to know, is it going to happen on that day?
And I know a lot of folks are wondering why he's calling that gathering on the 19th. And
well,
my first thought was he wants to make sure folks are in DC, even if he's got to pay for him to get there, because I suspect his $100,000, come join the happy party. I don't think he got a lot of takers on that.
Yeah.
Because that's when he switched to this. No, we're going to all meet on the 19th for a celebration.
Well, I'll be doggone. Well, I'll tell you what I got.
Yeah.
I pulled 3 cards. In the middle of it is the star card. Okay, so that means there's hope, right? The first card is the 2 of Swords. Difficult decision. Difficult decision. Don't really want to look at that. And then the final card is the 8 of Swords. You know, she's all bound up. And I don't think we're going to have a regular Inauguration Day.
I don't think so either. And these cards really surprised me. I thought, because the first one I got was perfect timing. And I think we're in well, let me get that backward. Come on. Perfect timing, which tells me it may not be in perfect timing, because the next card was no, an emphatic no.
Okay.
And then the third was opportunity. And boy, wouldn't that present real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Yeah. The opportunities are presenting or trying to. So it will be interesting.
All right.
Okay. I plan on doing
that. Oh, warrior girl, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Bless you. Okay. So Carl wants to know, will he be able to finally close a deal?
Oh, this is such a not the year for that. But sometimes you got no choice.
Everybody's different, you know?
That's right. Sometimes
some of us are not going to be
right.
Feeling like a punching bag through this.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, Carl's deal. Is it going to go through Spirit?
Okay.
That one flying out. Is that just the only one? Huh. Well, I got the Ace of Cups came flying out of that deck, Carl. So
That's pretty
looks
nice.
good.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'll pull two more. Do I really need to? Then I get the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I'm not pulling no more.
Aces are up, boy.
Two aces on the board, man.
Yeah.
Just all
What
there.
more do you need? Yeah.
I know.
Oh, Carl, good news. That's actually very nice. And I got, impacting you.
Oh, we got.
It looks like a yes for me too, for you, Carl. The first one I got is leader of the light. Leader of the light. Where are you being called to serve and support others? The next was trust your faith. Dive into the unfolding journey, which I'd say you're doing. What is your faith asking of you? That was your second card. What is your faith asking of you? And so, yes, this last one is the collective field is impacting you, unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? So I would say if that is not the case with this and there doesn't feel blocked, if it still feels positive, I would say that things are looking pretty good. How about a kicker? How about a kicker? What does they say?
All right. Now Aaron's got
remain positive. That was the kicker to wrap it.
There you go. Positive. There you go, Carl.
Yeah.
There you go. And then Aaron has a question.
Okay.
Oh, you got it up here again. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Grace. All right. What will my work week be like?
Okay.
And then it says, if time.
There's always time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what will Aaron's work be like? Work week. I like it. Oh, okay. All right. Warrior Girl went to birthday reading. You got it. And then Grace is asking, she'd like to know if the fires might hit where she's living. So she's there in California.
Oh.
We'll see what we get on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm too.
They're just getting their butts kicked down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this week.
we are on what will my work like? Aaron's work be like this week? What is she facing at work this week? What is she facing?
What is Aaron dealing with at work?
Well, Aaron.
Wow.
I hope this is will make sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
The first I pulled this. This is Dragon Wisdom deck.
Okay.
And I've got the Green Dragon of Nutrition in the first position. And so I would think that might be a reminder to don't starve yourself, eat well this week, eat small meals throughout the day or little, nibble on some nuts, nibble on some fruit, whatever, to keep the energies up. I have Bliss. What a beautiful card.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to put that out there that it's going to be a good week for you and that hope is in the air to come out of there. It went falling back into its box. And hope.
Yeah.
So, hold your hope for a good week. It looks like it may be a nutritional week for you and a blissful week if you are able to do that. So that's what I have for you.
Okay.
the dragon cards.
And Aaron, I pulled 3 tarot cards. I used the longest dream, tarot of the longest dream. First card out was the Emperor. So there's somebody in authority there. In the middle of this is the Empress. Okay. So there's a couple of heavy hitters here.
Mm-hmm.
So something, but the third card here is the 8 of Pentacles, which feels like you diligently doing your job. But, maybe they're reconstructing or, it's got to have something to do with the company. But there's nothing nefarious coming out. So, you just might be feeling a change that management is doing some adjusting and stuff. So, and that'll put people on edge when that happens.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking on that one. I hope that makes sense to you.
Good.
Yeah. Her diet's been terrible lately, she says.
Oh, that's why the nutrition card came. I understand.
In a warehouse. Yeah. Yeah. I've worked warehouse before too.
Oh, yeah.
Totally get it, kiddo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this next one we've got is, let's see. Yeah. Okay. This one's for Grace. And then we go to Warrior Girl. She'd like to know if the fires might hit where she lives. So she's got to be in California. Again, I'm just going to do 3 cards on it.
Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of things under here.
Uh-huh.
I guess I got to scroll down now and then.
Yeah, I know. It gets away from me sometimes too. I'm still working on being able to have my brain split in 3 different directions.
I'll tell you what,
Grace.
I got to experience the fright of wildfires out of control some years back here. It got within 6 miles of our town.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like my husband said, that is the most helpless feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's a beast. You hear it roar. It can create its own weather system.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And it is unrelenting. We drove 2.5 hours before we could get out of smoke. After we evacuated. Yeah. We just kept going north and west, north and west, north and west. Like, oh my gosh.
This is going to be safe from the fires. This is going to be safe from the fires.
Okay, Grace. Grace.
Huh. Okay. Well, I got 3 cards here. Yeah. The first card is the Hermit. So, that's like you kind of feel your way through here, what's to expect. But then we've got the King of Cups shows up. And the third card is the King of Wands. See, in this deck here, the King of Wands, behind him, places are on fire. So I'm feeling like, do you see that in there? The tower back there is on fire. Yeah. So it feels like it's going to be close, but with the King of Cups here, I'm thinking, well, there's no bad cards here. Oh, and the Magician's at the shadow. So I'm going to say, if you're feeling dicey, you should, right now, today, it looks like you should be okay, even though you're feeling dicey about it. Totally understood.
All right. And I went ahead with my Lemurian deck on this.
Okay.
And the first one I got is Endless Opportunities. It's wonderful to have the freedom to choose. However, sometimes indecision can be almost suffocating. So get into your body and let your gut feelings guide the way. Good advice in this instance.
Yeah.
You have options and opportunities you may not have realized. The universe wants to give you what you want. It's all there. So reach out and wholeheartedly choose it. While you sit on the fence, your experiences are diluting or confusing. Sometimes reason and limitation direct our choices, and we feel unfulfilled as the result. Choose life from a place of heart, compassion, and integrity, and you can't go wrong. Then I got the third eye pineal perspective. So this might give you some openings in going through this experience, which may be the silver lining within it. Connect with your third eye and transcend what you understand with your mind. Discover a deeper inner knowing through the interconnected web of all that is and has been. You can tune into this wisdom at will and as and when you wish to. This wisdom is ancient yet pioneering. It is the creator of the free will we choose to weave from moment to moment. Be the observant witness, allow the transcendence of duality without judgment. Be mindful, listen, and allow your unfurling intuition to unravel the paradoxes of life. And the last one is vulnerability, because I suspect you're probably feeling this right now with all that's going on. When we are truly honest with ourselves and in all our facets, we are vulnerable. The honesty is an important step in discovering our shadows and bringing them into the light of healing. When we share our vulnerabilities with others, we allow them to glimpse a deeper part of ourselves. Be vulnerable with yourself and others. It may be time to step into the role of healer and hold space. Holding space means being fully present without judgment in a way that provides a safe and where am I? I just jumped a spot. Safe and nurturing environment. Here, guards are dropped, a deep level of awareness and relating can unfold, and profound healing takes place. So, what I'm getting from that is that it's understandable to feel vulnerable at this time, like I was saying, absolutely, with everything going on. Hedge your bet and just make sure you've got a go bag
Yeah.
already packed up so that if in any way you are prompted to bug out, you can
You're
quickly do
ready.
so.
Yeah.
But I think you're okay. I think you're okay. But again, do not trust
Energy
what I'm
change.
saying.
Yeah. Energy changes
Yes,
things
stay grounded and in
right
tune so that
now.
you know.
Yeah.
And you'll get your prompt if it's
Yeah.
time to leave. You'll
Yeah.
know. But
Okay.
good luck to you,
Yes,
Grace. That's
Grace. I hope
I
that
feel for
helps.
you. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a fun place to be in.
Thanks, pretty. Okay. Now, Warrior Girl, she'd love a birthday reading.
Oh.
So, happy birthday, Warrior Girl. Or is it
Oh.
your mom? But here's a birthday reading for you.
Oh.
I pulled oracles for you. And I'm using the Sacred Forest Oracle. That's one of them. There we go. And then I've got an Archangel Michael and then a Secret Language of Color. The first one you got was Butterfly Spirit Transformation. I love butterflies.
Oh,
I
me
love
too.
butterflies. So let me bring this up in the, excuse me, my book here. Yeah. Okay, and the Spirit of Butterfly says, the past is behind you. Everything is changing. It's time to launch a new cycle, a new project. With care, miracles can abound. I think that's interesting.
Hmm.
And then Maple Spirit. This one gave me two. Generosity. Okay, Maple Spirit. Generosity. Let me see what the message is here. The message from Spirit here is be open to receive the bounty of the universe. At the same time, be generous with others and with yourself. A warmth of spirit radiates from you. Share from your heart and receive with an open heart, and success will blossom. That's beautiful. I like that message. And then from the Sword of Light Oracle, Sword of Light Oracle. We got open up your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. That's what your message was there. And then the secret language of color. I love this one. This is so cool. You got cherry. Live an extraordinary life. That's what your message is there. Live an extraordinary life. So then I'm going to open up the book. Should be cherry right. Yep, here it is. Okay. See, cherry raises your self-esteem and brings sweetness, happiness, and wisdom into your life. It can open your heart and allow you to listen to your heart's desires. A deep, full color cherry encourages you to live your life to the maximum, acting as a magnet that attracts incredible people, opportunities, and abundance into your life. Eat some cherries and transform yourself from ordinary to extraordinary. And it gives you an affirmation. The affirmation says, divine intelligence, please give me the courage to become extraordinary and to make my dreams, goals, and desires a reality. So that's what I got for you, warrior girl. I hope that resonates and sounds good. And me soon is where I help.
Okay.
Okay. I'm stuck.
Warrior Girl, I just pulled 3 cards for you really quickly out of Nature Whispers. And the first one is, keep your dreams alive. Don't give up on them. Keep them going. Keep them front and center. This might be the year for you to really jump those off. Seek beauty, and I don't think it means in the aesthetics of the world. I think you know what that meaning is, that deeper meaning. Look where she's standing. Beautiful forest, all kinds of natural beauty around her. And that's what we need to be seeking. And what a great reminder on a birthday for a message to be out in nature and seeking that beauty. And then the reminder that love matters. Yeah. Which means we are always loved and we always matter, whether we're thinking in that way or not. But love matters.
It does.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday, warrior girl. Happy birthday. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we've been here an hour and 13.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Thank you, everyone who came, and thank you in the replay, too.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Carl, Aaron, Grace, Amy, thank you all so much.
Yes, always appreciate you guys. Absolutely.
Love you all so very much.
Yes, thank you. And we'll have more on the topic. we got, as we do, we get sidetracked a bit, or we get, following where we're going in the conversation. But I had other things that I could have shared, so I will keep them for another time.
Yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be back
in 2 weeks, so we'll do
2 weeks.
Again. And
2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'll get myself together, and we're going to do some healing, work with chakras and energy, and that'll be fun.
That will be fun.
Yeah, we'll feel better for it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Everyone. Replay.
Love to all of you.
Love you all.
And yes, in the replay too.
And please do subscribe to BJ's channel if you haven't already. And
appreciate it.
my channel, if you have it, really appreciate you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And anything else you want to share before we sign off, BJ?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Just, hang tough this week. We're in it.
yeah, yeah. And be mindful of your thoughts.
Yes,
Because
yes,
they turn into words and it turns
yes,
into your reality. So be
yes.
very mindful. Okay.
So when you feel that knee jerk come up, transmute it to something neutral
Yeah. Yeah.
and then let that go.
And another thing I did too is if you tap yourself, let go of what no longer serves you.
Yes.
Just let it go and realign yourself, reground yourself. And
Yeah.
it really helps.
And
So
boy, it is hitting everybody. My husband
it
suddenly got
really is.
snarky the other night and he
Mhm.
was really sharp with me. And I just was like, what?
Yeah.
So he came in the bedroom and he goes, I am really sorry. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden, I'm very irritated. And I said, you're never irritated. I
I
said,
know.
that's the energies.
Yeah, it
You
is.
just got swamped with
No
something and
wonder you didn't look at him and say, "Who are you?"
I know. I'm like, you don't talk that way to me. What the heck?
Yeah.
But I mean, heck,
If it
I'm
happens again,
Hungarian. We can
right
be
there,
very,
slap him in his cracks.
very
Just say,
volatile.
"Who are you?" Okay.
And what did you do with my husband?
Yeah, exactly. Send him back.
Everybody have a great week.
Okay. Bye-bye, peoples. We love
Keep
you all.
calm.
Take care of yourself. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. See you 2 weeks.